What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for another episode of the Forgotten Race Review. Today we'll be looking at a homebrew race from 3.5 and I believe also converted to 5e, rolling it up into first edition and taking something that's actually way more powerful than the Leprechaun and brewing it up for Pathfinder 2nd edition. I of course speak of the Foreclaimers. If you're liking what you're seeing, remember to like, subscribe, ding the bell. Today, this episode of the Forgotten Race Review was brought to you in part by another one of our newest patrons over at Kingmaker, none other than Katie Gorkina. I think I said your last name right. I'm really sorry if I didn't. If you ever want to watch somebody without improved disarm 2 axes from someone in one go, yeah, you can find that on our Kingmaker playthrough. But for now, my friend, thank you for your support. Let's dive in. Alrighty. So in 3.5, if I'm understanding this correctly, as that's where the stats were made in the first place, there exists a campaign I found on YouTube and haven't watched at this time called Fool's Gold, from which the Foreclaimers sprang. The Foreclaimers are an ancient race of elves which disappeared, give or take, 2,500 years ago. They were solely focused on the advancement of technology and physiology. Most of their science was based on power harvested from the sun, which they used to power machines and enhance their own bodies. The energy they harvested from the sun was stored in these large power crystals, more or less batteries, which were used as a part of their machines. No one knows how they got such advanced stuff, why they went extinct, how they were used, but it made them real powerful. The Foreclaimers do not possess a concept of empathy, or many emotions in general, each member of their society having assigned duties from the current elected leader, which contributed 100% to the progress of the state. The state's goal literally just to advance civilization by advancing technology and biology. So originally these guys were elves, but they have of course bioengineered themselves into a much more advanced form, the likes of which we see today. Their skin is mostly gray with glowing golden lines running out. Think like circuitry, or androids I guess. And a 3-inch long power crystal sits basically just above the belly button of these guys, which can be freely removed. If left out for a long time, eventually it would cause these guys to degrade and die. As for our stats, the Foreclaimer reaches adulthood at 110 years. There is not a lot of variance between these guys in terms of height, or really in terms of weight. Makes sense given that they're a robot race, males ranging in height from 6'9" to 7 foot, or anywhere from 2.05 meters to 2.1 meters. Females coming in 6'6" to 6'10", 1.9 meters to 2.08. Males weigh anywhere from 241 to 252 pounds, or 109 kilograms to 114 kilograms. Females 231 to 242, 104.7 to 109.7. The max age for these guys is a whopping, staggering, a whole heck of a lot. 750 plus 4 percentage dice worth of years. Turns out if you become a robot, you live for a long time. Weird, who'd have thought? Now, first edition racial traits, here we go. The Foreclaimer receives a +2 to strength, constitution, and intelligence, but takes a -4 to charisma. They are medium elves with a base speed of 30 feet, spell resistance equal to 11 plus level, a +2 racial bonus on will saves against spells and spell-like abilities, a +2 on perception, but a -4 on bluff and diplomacy. Kinda sounds a lot like the android. And a +2 racial bonus on knowledge of the planes, engineering, and arcana. Once per day, they may cast light or dancing lights, caster level equal to class level. They are immune to magic sleep effects, have a +2 on saves against enchantments, and when they reach adulthood, they're given an augmentation, that power crystal that goes in their tum-tum, of which we have 10 right now, which can, up to and including, give your Foreclaimer the ability to breathe underwater, dark vision 60 feet, climb speed of 15 feet, an extra +2 to strength, +2 to natural armor, fire resistance 5, an increase to your base land speed by 10, invisibility for a minute once per day, a +2 to reflex saves, or a +2 to fort saves, as well as immunity to poison and disease. Now let's take that over to the new shiny one, shall we, friends? So again, this is probably going to come out a little stronger than anything in 2e right now. Nature of the beast, I suppose. These guys were once elves. The technology could certainly be spread to any ancestry vote, so I think I'm going to call the Foreclaimers not an ancestry, rather a heritage. So you'll take your hit points, size, speed, ability boosts, ability flaws, and traits from your race. Yes, I know, we're throwing away those really nice ability score buffs. Upon choosing the Foreclaimer heritage, your augmentation sets you apart from everybody else and gives you a mechanical buff. Since the theme of 2nd edition is not to let things stack, anything with a number, call it an item bonus. We'll say the ability to breathe underwater, dark vision, a climb speed equal to half your speed. Not gonna touch the strength buff, that seems scary, but I will say a +1 item bonus to AC, fire resistance 5, a +10 item bonus to speed, the ability to cast invisibility once per day is probably an occult spell, yeah. A +1 item bonus to reflex saves, or a +1 to fortitude saves. You would of course get access to Foreclaimer feats as well as the feats of your native ancestry as you level. A lot of these are basically stuff for elves, so I'm gonna boil it down a little so we're not like double speaking here. Call this one a level 5 ancestry feat, the ability to not have to sleep while powered. For our level 1 ancestry feats, a +1 bonus on perception for one of them. For another one, a +1 on occultism, arcana, and engineering lore. For another +1, we'll say a +1 bonus on will saves against spells and innate spells. Everything else really seems to come from the elf, so if you want that stuff, be an elf. Otherwise, your Foreclaimer, again, could spring from anywhere. When I see these guys and I think of them in Pathfinder, instantly, of course, I think Numeria. I think the Dominion of the Black. I'm sure the Dominion would love these guys as slaves in any case. We've got androids in 1st edition Pathfinder. These guys aren't much of a step farther ahead of that. Really, they kind of feel like the logical progression to me between android and fully bioorganic humanoid. Especially in 1st edition, where you've got those big buffs to your ability scores, but you definitely have robotic bits. A +4 to strength looks bad on no one, even the 7 strength character. Since we haven't seen anything about technology yet in 2nd edition, hard to say exactly where this would fit or how you would play it, but if I were to play it, I think I would want to play it in a society where the Foreclaimers were around just en masse, and I wasn't the only one. Why? Because sometimes I think I might want to switch out my augmentations. +2 to natural armor is real nice, but if I know I'm going to need that climb speed or dark vision or the ability to breathe underwater, the ability to sub out parts, yeah, doesn't sound bad. In any case, that's all the time we have for today, my friends. What do you guys think about the Foreclaimers? Do you know anything more about where this race came from? If so, put it in the comments. And thank you guys, as always, so much for watching. It's First Party Pathfinder next week. A race I've wanted to talk about for a while. A race I'm really surprised never got requested until very recently, but next week, it's all about the Strix. See you then.